A few years ago, I did a video on how to make your own homemade fish paste. Since then, I've improved on that recipe by simplifying it and I think improving the taste. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. And not only that, it's keto friendly and it's gluten free. And in a moment, I'll show you how to use this fish paste to make a nutritious little breakfast with less than 1 gram of carbs in it. So let's have a look at the ingredients first. All you're going to need are 3 basic ingredients: some tomato pesto, a tin of sardines, 110 grams, and a few anchovy fillets, not a whole bottle. We'll talk about how many in a minute. And then just a little blender to mix it all up in. And those are your basic ingredients. You can add other stuff if you want to. I quite like to add a little bit of lime juice, which just helps to preserve it a bit and gives it a nice tang. And the sardines and the anchovies, I like them to be in oil because the water can make it a little bit mushy if you have them in spring water. And I think the oil also helps to preserve it and improve the texture. Right, well, let's get on with mixing them together. The first step is some anchovy fillets. I normally put in about 4 or 5 to start with because they can be quite salty, so you don't want to overdo it. And I would suggest you put yours in slowly. I've measured it, it works out about 20 grams of fillets, and I like to put them in first because they take a bit more chopping than the sardines. So that looks like about enough for one mix. And then I use some tomato pesto, and that helps to improve the color and the flavor. Normally about 3 heaped teaspoons should do the whole mix. And then your can of sardines. I put in all the juice. You don't have to if you feel you want it a little bit drier, but it works for me. And then those are your basic ingredients. And if you want to add a little bit of extra kick to it, you can put in some chili powder, you can put in some ground pepper, herbs, anything like that. But what I prefer is just a teaspoon or so of lime juice or lemon juice, just to give it a little bit of tang, and I think it also helps to preserve it. I find it keeps about 4 or 5 days in the fridge, so only make enough to last you that long, otherwise it might go off on you. Right, and then the next thing is blending. Right, that's all there is to it. Now all you have to do is just do a test taste, and remember it might taste a bit salty on its own, but you'll usually be putting it on bread or crackers or something like that, so allow for that diluting the salt. Right, just give you a close-up view of the texture. That's what it looks like, texture and color. So I just want to do my taste test now to see if I need to add any more anchovies or anything else that's not balanced. So just get a little bit of it. No, I think that's fine. It always tastes a little, as I said, it always tastes a little bit salty when you taste it on its own, but when you put it on something, then it settles down. So I'm not going to do any more to that. So what happens now is I just take it out of the mixer, I'll put it in a little tub to seal it and stick it in the fridge, and as I said to you, it lasts about 4 or 5 days in the fridge. But I promised you I'd show you how to make a little breakfast with this stuff that ends up at less than 1 gram of carb for the whole breakfast. Right, so this is how I make this breakfast for myself that's less than 1 gram of carb. I use one of these seed crackers, which is about 0.4 of a gram of carbs. Put some butter on top, which is negligible. And these 2 teaspoons of this stuff probably ends up at 0.4 of a gram of carb as well. So, and you just spread that along. So you're looking at the most about 0.8 of a gram of carbs for that breakfast. So there we go. Let's give it a try with the seed cracker. Perfect. And the entire time to make this and make this little breakfast is probably less than 5 minutes. So if you're just doing the breakfast, it's a couple of minutes and you can make your breakfast. Now, if you found this useful, please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. And if you have any comments or questions, we'd love to hear from you. If you just scroll right down to the bottom, you'll find the comment section there. Thank you very much for watching.